Welcome to the Saints Training Camp Report. I am Todd Graffagnini. As your host, John DeShazier, our analyst. Saints fans, the time has come. Training camp on the horizon tomorrow. JD, it's a very exciting time, not only for the fans, but everybody involved in the organization.
Yeah, the big thing is we're talking about a team that has been in the playoffs deep the last couple of seasons, has been eliminated from the playoffs in a couple of bizarre ways, let's say, and really feels like it should have won the Super Bowl last year, should have at least been in the Super Bowl last year. So we're talking about a team that really seems to be cresting at the right time, the right mix of veterans, rookies, and young veterans, guys who are on the rise, Alvin Kamara and, Marshawn Lattimore and those kinds of players. So a really exciting time for the Saints.
Yeah, expectations are very, very high. Now, as Coach Payton and Mickey Loomis addressed the media this afternoon, obviously the big news, Michael Thomas did not report. Coach Payton, Mickey Loomis addressed that situation with the media.
It's something that hopefully will be resolved soon. It was more common, I think, back when some of these picks weren't slotted, more common with rookie players, but, I think his agent, Mickey, those guys are working on it, and, I'm optimistic it'll be done fairly soon.
Would you say you're surprised right now that
No.
Has he given you the impression then that he won't be here until it's done, or what?
No, just what I said. Listen, I think that I'm sure those guys are working on it, and the focus that I have now obviously are the players that are here.
Look, you always get asked, hey, are you close? Are you close? I can tell you when we're a long ways apart. It's hard for me to tell you when we're close. I think we're close when I see the player in Kai's office with a document in front of him. Then I can tell you we're close.
Would you say you're a long ways apart?
I wouldn't say that, but yeah, that's about the extent of it.
Maybe haven't seen it. Maybe optimistic something could be done fairly soon. Do you share those same sentiments?
Yeah, I don't know. Look, it's just so hard to tell. I don't know the mindset of the other party, and they're going to find something they like, and at that point, we'll have something done. So.
Do you gather at all that this is a situation where, with so many receivers also in similar situations around the league, that there is a sense of maybe in Michael's situation wanting to wait and see if another receiver?
I don't know. That's a question for him. I think, look, all these deals that are in the magnitude we're going to be ended up at, I think there's always, it's a negotiation. It's a lot of give and take, and then, ultimately, the urgency that you'd like to have happen in February, March, April, or May ends up getting dragged out to right before or during training camp. So I think it's just the nature of the business.
Are you
comfortable
with being the team that goes first?
Yeah. No, I think that, look, we're going to do a deal that we feel works for us, regardless of what the other teams may or may not do.
Are you surprised it's kind of taking this long?
No, I've been around too long to be surprised.
Now, maybe when you look at past history, you allowed, the Saints allowed Drew Brees' contract to play out fully both in 2012 and 2018. And then you also allowed tight end Jimmy Graham's contract to play out fully in 2014. Is that part of the process just kind of like, look, there's no preferential treatment. Look what occurred with Drew Brees, Jimmy Graham, and Michael Thomas is one of those.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out.
Okay.
I think that, that's just the nature of the beast here. And look, all those worked out. So my expectation is this will work out as well.
How much does it bother you that Michael Thomas is not here?
It bothers me because, look, it's a reflection on, the job that we do. And in a perfect world, this would be done, and we'd both feel either real good about it or both feel real bad about it. And he'd be in here working. And look, one thing I know Mike Thomas wants to be here, so it's not a question of him not wanting to be here.
Now, Mickey, when you look at like market value and players talk about that, fans, you get what you pay for, kind of like production on the field. And when I think it was around 4th of July, when he made a statement, I don't want a penny more or a penny less, according to market value. Does that come into play, or
what is it? What's the number?
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm asking. Is there
Yeah.
a certain number?
Yeah.
Agents have a different number, obviously, than teams, or what?
Yeah, obviously. I think, you know, we can get in the vicinity. I think, and this is not specific to Mike's deal. It's true for all of them. You know, you just have a different viewpoint on what market value is, and then you also have to factor in what's right for your team as well. So, look, I understand that thinking. He wants to be paid the value that he perceives himself. It's just, look, it's not, you know, you don't open up a book and there it is. You know, you got to determine what that is, and people have different viewpoints of it.
Well, JD, listening to Sean Payton address the media, I think the most significant information that he passed along was the fact that Cam Meredith passed his conditioning test and he will be a full go when practice starts tomorrow.
Yeah, Cam really wasn't healthy all of last year. He was coming off that injury that he sustained with the Bears. And so I don't think we really got an opportunity to see the true Cam Meredith. He had some flashes during some games, but he just was gimpy all season long until they finally said, look, we've got to give you surgery. We've got to clean this up. And now it looks like he might have an opportunity to at least start out this camp healthy, work his way into condition, but certainly a guy who can add a lot to that receiving core.
No question about it. Now, specific position battles, nickel corner, center. We're going to see these things. Wide receiver could be a very deep position. But Coach Payton mentioned that he's looking at everything, and there's going to be a lot of competition throughout training camp.
That's the question as you start camp, you know, relative to, you know, the roster, the right group of guys, and then this team will be different than last year's team or the year before. And I think that, you know, I think historically, and I don't think this will ever change, but that competition is what can bring out the best in an individual. You're looking closely at all of it, and paying close attention to, you know, that old saying of go by what you see. And so, you know, the method in which we acquired our player to get here is certainly not necessarily related to once they're here. You know, there's an expectation now, and so look different than Cam Jordan maybe or a certain position group, but there'll be a lot of competition, not just at center, you know, linebacker, you know, corner, nickel. I mean, pick a position. So that's what we're getting ready to start on.
When we come back, we'll take a look at the improvements here at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center as training camp on the horizon 2019. Welcome back to New Orleans Saints training camp preview on CST. Todd Graffagnini, John DeShazier here. JD, if you look behind us, I don't think that this area, the Ochsner Sports Performance Center, has ever looked better. It is going to be a treat for the fans that come out here each and every day to watch camp. I mean, it's a paradise back behind us.
Yeah, it really is something to see. As you can notice behind us, you know, the tents and everything, and it's just a beautiful sight, especially for fans. Makes it a lot more enticing.
Let's take a special look at some of the improvements here at the Ochsner Sports Performance Center.
Welcome back to Saints Training Camp presented by Verizon. This year's camp has some major improvements in store for Saints fans, and we can't wait for you to be here. Bleacher setting for fans will now be completely covered, protecting fans from the sun. Fans and misters have also been included in the renovations to keep fans cool and comfortable. The VIP area will also include upgraded seating and an air-conditioned tent. Rouse's Market, the official supermarket for the New Orleans Saints, will offer a reserved seating section for fans with a Rouse's Fast Pass wristband. Upgraded concessions and merchandise will also be available. Free parking is accessible to Saints fans by parking in the Baby Cakes lot across from the Ochsner Sports Performance Center. Gear up and get ready, Saints fans. Saints football is officially here.
Final segment here on New Orleans Saints training camp preview. I'm Todd Graffagnini along with John DeShazier. First of all, JD, first day of camps tomorrow. Again, a day that everyone expects. What are you specifically going to look for in the first day?
Well, it's so early in camp, so schematically there isn't a whole lot to grasp from it. We'll see some one-on-one battles, but I think specifically we're looking for individual guys. I'm looking for guys like Ken Crawley. I want to see what he does at cornerback because he had a really rough season last year after having a solid season the year before. Which guy is he? Is he the solid guy from 2 years ago, or is he the guy who didn't have such a good year last year? C.J. Gardner-Johnson is another guy, defensive back, the rookie, who is extremely versatile. Obviously, we want to see what happens at the center position because when we're talking about Eric McCoy and also Nick Easton and Cameron Tom, there's a huge battle there to see who replaces Max Unger. So I'm looking at some individual guys specifically to see how they perform early in this camp.
Also interesting to hear Sean Payton during his press conference mention the amount of reps that Drew Brees is going to get as, again, the age continues here for Brees. But how Teddy Bridgewater, Taysom Hill, how many reps they're going to get during practice, and to see the improvement of both of those two guys.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater is a guy that this team specifically targeted to re-sign as a free agent this offseason. Teddy Bridgewater likes it enough around here to where he turned down some other offers to where he probably could have been a starter maybe in Miami, but he decided to come back here to serve as a caddy again to Drew Brees and learn this offense a little bit better. And having a full training camp under his belt after last season should benefit him tremendously.
It's going to be a whole lot of fun. You ready to go?
I'm ready.
We are all ready, and I know you Saints fans are ready as well. We'll be back tomorrow with another update in our training camp report live right here from the Oshner Sports Center. Todd Graffagnini, John DeShazier. We will see you training camp.